Hi, I'm Kirk. Welcome to my channel, Good Enough Backyard Beekeeping. We're back here in my shop because it's raining once again here in Central Connecticut. It's mid-October and we should be ready for winter. Should have been starting getting ready for winter around August. I know that sounds crazy, but at that point, you should have been feeding your bees if they were light. If you've already taken off your honey supers, should have been getting ready, checking your mites. So, my opinion, mites is number one, right next to 1A, and that would be feeding. You need to make sure your bees have food. If your bees starve in the winter, that's all on you. Because you either didn't have good foraging, you may have taken too much honey. But now let's talk about, we've done our feeding, we've done our mite control, and now we got to get them ready for winter. So, I talked about it in my last video. Get your mouse guards ready. So, here's what I showed last time. Get the mouse guard in here. Might have to lift it, push it in here. Mouse guards are all set. No openings, well, no large openings. Got some small openings for the bees to go in and out. I like this setup because I can pull this out and clean the bottom out as I need to. Now, I'm showing you a medium super here. Well, I use these as supers. I'm inside to keep the size down, but I overwinter in double deeps. I feel like there should be enough food in double deeps. The size of the colony should be large enough, and a good healthy hive should have no problem keeping itself warm in the winter, except you need to make sure the top is insulated. So the way I do that, I start with a shim. So just made these. I had to make a couple extras. I do have a hole in the front. That's a 1/2-inch hole. That allows the bees to escape if this gets covered with snow. Gives some upper ventilation. I know there's a lot of talk about condensing hives. I have not adopted that. I had a couple hives that I did not have ventilation. They made it through the winter fine, but I will typically have an upper entrance or exit, depending on how you want to call it, so that the bees can get out, especially if this is blocked down below. And I think the ventilation is a good thing. But that's my opinion. On top of that, I put humusol. This is a moisture board, another name for that. That goes on top. It will absorb moisture. Some will say it will retain moisture. I've never had any problem with it. You will get the bees to propolize it a little bit. They've done that here. They've chewed a little bit. But it seems to work very good. So this is my winter setup. I get foam. That pink stuff you get at the big box store. You can cut it with a knife, break it. You don't need any special tools. Get it to fit the size of your box. So now you have a well-insulated top. Now, the next thing you want to do, and I use telescoping covers. This telescoping cover goes on top. You might want to go a little bit forward because you can see my upper entrance. Well, I guess you can still see it. Still have an open entrance there. Telescoping top. Put a big rock on here, weight, cinder block, whatever you need to keep the wind from blowing this off. As the winter goes, you may get the bees to propolize this a little bit. If you feel that you have any gaps that are too big, just wrap them up with tape. I used that blue tape this stuff here. Masking tape works fine. You can use duct tape. But this is all I do to winterize my hives. So I go double deeps. I'll give another reason why I go double deeps. In the springtime, I make splits. And I sell bees. So when I'm making nukes, I want to make nukes with deep frames. I tried last year to do a deep with a medium, and what I ended up with was all my bees up in my mediums, and I really couldn't make splits until I got them to go back down. After I got them reestablished, the queen was up above, I could make my splits. That caused me a little bit of delay. So this year I'm going double deeps. I've gone with double deeps before, and it works really well. The other thing is, if you check your hives, so here's the test you do. You want to go to the back of your hive, lift up the back, and see if it feels really heavy. If you go to lift it and it slides around, it's too light. It should be heavy. And that's kind of a relative term. If you have multiple hives, that's what's nice about having multiple hives, is you can tell the difference between a light hive and a heavy one. You shouldn't need any extra feeding, but I do for insurance, and I'll show you. I use Hive Alive fondant. I will cut a triangle, open the flap, I lift up these here. I put this right on top, put this all back together, and the bees will eat away at that. Now what I should have shown you is, if you cut the side with all the printing, you can leave it with the side that's more clear, and you can actually see the bees eating the fondant. So you should cut where it says Hive Alive, put that down. Now I don't get paid by these people, at least not yet. They don't know who I am. But I believe in the product. I used it last year for the first time. It seems to help dysentery. It kept the bees fed. It was enough in there that I could go in periodically and check. So in the winter time, if you're concerned about going in your hive, the only thing you should be doing is lifting the cover, take a peek in there, and see if there's food. Close it back up. Now the other kind of feed you can use, you make sugar bricks. You mix up sugar, a little bit of water. I haven't done it before, but I've heard putting Hive Alive's good in there. There's probably some other supplements. You don't really need the supplements. Some people put a little bit of vinegar in there, keep it from spoiling. But make sugar bricks. You can put these in a tin, mix them up, pack them, let them sit for a day or so. They will become a brick. Take that brick, put it in there, and what you're doing is giving your bees a little bit of insurance to make sure they have enough food to get through the winter. As you'll notice, I do not insulate my hives. I would have gone outside and shown you this, but it is raining again. So I hope this helps. And here again, I refer to this as good enough backyard beekeeping. I stress the good enough because I don't want you stressing over your bees. There's many ways of doing this. You can wrap your hives. You don't have to wrap them in Central Connecticut. We've had temperatures get down into the single numbers, even to negative temperatures, and the bees still survived. So wrapping is not necessary, and then the other thing you have to worry about is where you're going to put all that wrapping in the springtime. Now, something else I'll share with you, the insulated top with the homosote and the spacers. A lot of times I will leave that configuration on all year round. You don't have to go store it. And the bees work just fine in there. You'll get the bees to build comb in the shim. That's really not a problem. The only thing it bothers is the beekeeper. It doesn't bother the bees at all. And they actually will leave you a gap so that you can pull them apart. They don't usually glue the two together, but sometimes that happens. And if it really bothers you, take the shim out, put in a inner cover, and should be fine. But the insulation is actually good year-round. It keeps the extreme heat off the hive, and they should be good. So I hope this video helped. I hope this helped reduce maybe some of your stress on beekeeping, and good luck overwintering your bees. Thank you for watching.